Hello and welcome back to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath Holland and this is our monthly look at everything coming from Kino Lorber and all of Kino Lorber's partner labels for the month of November 2023. Put a star by that because I got stuff from October and from December that we're about to talk about. But let's kick it off with the thing that we've all been talking about for the better part of a year. Columbo has arrived. Technically, this is a December release, but I wanted to include it here because I have it. It's still November. This arrived early. This is my review, my press copy that I'm showing you guys. First of all, by the way, thanks so much to Kino Lorber for making this video possible each and every month. If you haven't seen my latest, the third and latest conversation with Frank Tarzi, right here at Serial at Midnight, you need to check that out. I'll link to it in the description, probably link to it right here as well. Revelations, lots of answers to questions, and an announcement, which if you haven't heard, Shane is coming to 4K. Come back, Shane. Columbo is a thing of beauty. Now, I've heard, first of all, what do you guys think about this cover art, this box art? I love it. For me, this is so representative of what Columbo is, that pulpy 70s style. This looks like a TV guide cover from 1974 or somewhere, something around there. This looks gorgeous to me. I love this. I love the use of the yellow. I love that these seasons have their own, each one of these has its own box, its own Blu-ray case. And here is the back of the box with the extras that are included. Now, listen, 5,000 of you guys are going to watch this video and you're going to say it's a shame that those extras that were announced aren't included. We can't pretend that wasn't announced, but everyone feels exactly the same way. Frank was here. He feels the same way. Everyone involved with this release feels exactly the same way. It's a shame, but they're not. This is what we have. It's a gorgeous set. It's a beautiful package, beautiful set. People are going to say, well, they're already asking me this because I shared this on social media. They're going, hey, I got the Japanese set. Why should I upgrade? I'm like, well, first of all, you do you, right? I don't care. You don't have to, I don't need to talk you into, sometimes I think people want me to convince them to do something. No, you're an adult. You can do what you want to do. The Japanese set is 1080i. They're interlaced. That's an old set, old masters. These are fresh 4K scans. So, and no, these are not 4K discs. It's a 4K scan shrunk down to Blu-ray. I have the DVDs. I did a side-by-side, and not side-by-side. I did a before and after. I popped the DVD in, watched a little bit, popped the Blu-ray in, did some comparison. This is night and day better than the DVD. So some people are like, I'm good enough with DVD, bro. Again, you do you. But this is a noticeable upgrade in quality. This is the best Columbo has ever looked on home media. Probably the best it ever will look, unless we're going to get a 4K. People, by the way, here's another question I'm getting. I've talked about this. I feel like I've talked about this hundreds of times on my channel. Why no 4K for Columbo? We got 4K scans. Why no 4K? Because a 4K box set of Columbo would cost buku bucks. It would cost so much money. A Blu-ray, we're generalizing here. You could press a Blu-ray for a certain amount of money. What it costs to press, author, and manufacture a 4K disc can be about I'm not saying it always is, can be about 4 times more than a Blu-ray. So guess what? You're looking at that cost being passed on to the customer. It's just not happening. The market's not there. We're not in a 4K. We are not in a TV on 4K market. We're just getting to a TV on Blu-ray market. TV on disc is risky. TV on DVD outsells everything. TV on Blu-ray sells less than TV on DVD. TV on 4K, almost non-existent. Maybe in 10 years. Maybe in 5 years. But for right now, this is the new standard for Columbo. If you have the DVD set, you'll notice that they've basically used the exact same art, the season art, for this art here. It's basically, in many ways, maybe in all ways, this is just a straight upgrade of the Columbo DVD set with all the extras, with all the extras carried over. We do have this fancy booklet here. This is the episode guide, which the DVD does not have, I don't believe. Someone's also going to say, will those extras ever see the light of day? I don't know. Nobody knows. These are people want answers to things when there are no answers. Sometimes things happen and they're just not going to happen. we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. All right, I probably spent too much time on Columbo considering the massive stack of things that are sitting next to me. And will I talk about this again in my December coverage? Probably, because it deserves it. People are going to be like, how come you never talked about Columbo? Columbo is here, and I love it. I'll go ahead and tell you, this is going to be one of the releases of the year because I'm a huge retro TV fan. I'm a huge fan of Columbo because it's smart drama with compelling guest stars, Johnny Cash, and pretty much everybody. I'm not sure like who didn't go through Columbo. I know we got Shatner, we got Leonard Nimoy, Johnny Cash. Everybody went through Columbo, usually as a murderer, but man, it's so good. Such great television, absolutely classic television. By the way, the new volume's gonna be coming along soon. We can look for the new volume in 2024, which will be the other half of the series, which is going to be all the movies, the TV movie, the second half, everything that came after that. We got 2 new 4Ks. We're kicking off our 4K coverage with the Monster Squad on 4K and Stalag 17. Listen, I'm going to start with the Monster Squad. Again, you guys ask the same questions. Worth an upgrade? 4K is always going to be worth an upgrade if it's shot on film. If shot on digital is kind of iffy. HDR adds a huge layer, but this is a 35. It's a 4K restoration for the original 35mm original camera negative. That's the best case scenario, right? That's going to look great, and it does look great. Huge upgrade. It carries over a ton of special features. We've got 2 commentaries. Here, I'm going to hold this up. Freeze it if you want to. I export these videos in 4K, so you should have great resolution. Audio commentary by Fred Decker and cinematographer Bradford May. Audio commentary by Fred Decker and actors Andre Gower, Ryan Lambert, and Ashley Bank. Monster Squad Forever documentary, a conversation with Frankenstein. That's a Tom Noonan interview. Animated storyboard sequence, deleted scenes, still gallery. The big news here is that it has the entire Wolfman's Got Nards documentary on its own Blu-ray disc. Dedicated Blu-ray for Wolfman's Got Nards. So here's the Blu-ray of the film that's going to have the extras on it, and here is the 4K. And it does have, you notice, it does have reversible cover art. So this is the newer art. This is the classic art. I mean, they're pretty close to the same thing, right? Hold on, what's the flippable art here? That art is identical to this art. Okay, here's the question. Can you guys tell the difference? This art has been updated. Anyway. Great release, great 4K. Somebody else is going to say, it's a shame they couldn't get that out before Halloween. It's because I saw it on Twitter. People are like, why? Kino Lorber, why didn't you put that out before Halloween? Because they can't. They tried. They wanted that out before Halloween. So what Frank Tarzi talked about, like the difference between, again, go watch the review, go watch the interview, but the turnaround time, sometimes you are told, hey, we have the elements, it's ready to go. You send for the elements, they're like, oh, we actually don't have the elements for that right now, so it's going to be a little bit longer. Things happen. Things take time. So, yeah, that would have been great during October, but I'm happy to watch it in November and December and January and any other month of the year. Billy Wilder, Stalag 17, 1953 POW movie. It's another 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. It looks great. This is the best this movie has ever looked on home media. They're carrying over... we got 3 commentaries. Let's start there. We got 3 commentaries. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and read all of this stuff to you guys. But we've got the Stalag 17 From Reality to Screen featurette, The Real Heroes of Stalag 17B featurettes. This is one of those classics. No alternate cover art here. Film on Blu-ray and on 4K. 3 commentary tracks. I love Billy Wilder. What's interesting to me about Billy Wilder is the diversity of his career, because the same guy directed Double Indemnity, the noir classic, one of the best noir films. It's a top 5 noir probably. People go, where should I start with noir? You can start with Double Indemnity and you'll be very happy. Some Like It Hot, which is kind of a slapstick kind of a thing, very, very broad comedy. And also the director of The Apartment, which I absolutely adore, and so much more. But just the diversity of styles and genres and tones, and I love that about him. Monk Season 1 has arrived. They're going to be issuing the entire series 1 season at a time, 1 month at a time. So this is the first one. Monk Season 1 has arrived. I've never seen Monk. I feel like my mom liked Monk, but I was out when Monk was on TV. I think I was out. I was gone. I was out of the house. Yeah, 2002. So I haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to catching up with it. What do you guys think about Monk? And I should note that they have included a pretty nice bevy of special features here. Mr. Monk and his origins, Mr. Monk and his OCD, Mr. Monk and his fellow sufferers, Mr. Monk and the Emmy award-winning performance, and his partners in crime. The entire season is on trays and hubs, right? And we've got the episode guide on the reverse side of the art wrap. So if you're into Monk, you're going to have individual seasons on your shelf. I'm really excited about this. 2 Days in the Valley is one of those great, I'm going to say great, crime films. Maybe a neo-noir. I think it probably qualifies as a neo-noir. 1996? Is it 96? Yes. Some people label this a Tarantino knockoff. And that bothers me so much that I made a video about, quote, Tarantino knockoffs. Heath editing this. Link to that right here. Put it in the description of this video too. There are a lot of great crime films that I think audiences... Quentin Tarantino has a lot of fans. I'm a fan of Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino has a lot of loyalists that buy all in on him and think that anything that feels similar to what he's done is a knockoff, rather than thinking or accepting that they're drawing from the same influences and that Quentin Tarantino's success opened the door for lots of other filmmakers to make movies in that wheelhouse, influenced by 70s crime and influenced by film noir. 2 Days in the Valley is exactly such a movie. The cast: Danny Aiello, Jeff Daniels, Terry Hatcher, James Spader, Eric Stoltz, Charlize Theron. It's absolutely spectacular. It's a great movie. I only wish it was 4K. That's the thing. It's a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. This is a Blu-ray. Somebody's going to say, why no 4K? I think I've talked to Frank enough to say Frank would say it's too risky. 4K is too expensive. It's too risky. I'm just not comfortable doing that yet. Maybe in a few years. That's probably what Frank would say, because he said it so many times during my conversations with him. That's the only way this could be any better. It's a 35mm 4K scan of the OCN, 35mm OCN. We got audio commentary by the writer and the director. Sylvester Stallone and John Hertzfeld conversation. Q&A. It's Cinefamily with Charlize Theron, Glenn Headley. Rest in peace, Glenn Headley. John Hertzfeld and others. The Making of 2 Days in the Valley archival featurette, and then B-rolls and sound bites. Alternate art, yes. This is how I remember this movie, from the poster and then the VHS days. This is what was staring back at us from the shelves. Great, great, great. And I always like Charlize Theron. It's such a striking image there with the sunglasses. I know a lot of you guys are going to be excited about this one. Neon City has arrived. We got Ironside, Michael Ironside, Vanity, and Lyle Alzado. This is a 2K scan of the 35mm interpositive. This is a 1991 film. Isn't that the same year that Ironside was in Highlander 2, The Quickening? What a problematic movie, but I'm a Highlander fan, you guys. If murderous renegades don't get them poisonous clouds of deadly sunburst will. The year is 2053. The atmosphere is lethal and people are literally fighting for survival. Post-apocalyptic movie with Michael Ironside. Do we have... No reversible art wrap here. We got an audio commentary by the director Monty Markham, moderated by Black Mansion Films producer Heather Buckley. In action, interview with star Michael Ironside. Really cool stuff. These speak my language. We got re-releases for new and improved re-releases. I talked to Frank about this in my interview with him. We got Burt Reynolds in White Lightning and Burt Reynolds in Gator. Both of these previously available from Kino Lorber. I'm not sure exactly why they went out of print or what happened there. We have new reissues with slipcovers, with new commentary tracks, and a better encode. I am more partial to White Lightning than Gator because White Lightning feels like the dangerous rural South that I grew up in. That's being overly dramatic. I grew up like 30 minutes outside of the city, but I am in the deep South. And if you went, like where I went to high school was kind of in the country. If you went to the town beyond high school, it was just woods and like the occasional construction sites. That's what White Lightning reminds me of. It's that the kind of South that you can get lost in, and who knows what's going to happen. It's a dangerous feeling movie. Burt Reynolds feels dangerous in this movie. Gator is more polished. This is Burt Reynolds directing, right? Didn't he direct this? Presents Burt Reynolds. Music, I'm looking for the directorial credits. Directed by Burt Reynolds, yeah. Jerry Reed is the star. He's not the star. Burt Reynolds is the star of Gator. But Jerry Reed gives such a great performance in this. This is 1976. You think about all the fun of Smokey and the Bandit. Well, Jerry Reed is a totally different character in this. He's still kind of fun, but he is dangerous. Again, dangerous Southern people is the theme of these movies. Do check. If you've never seen them, I recommend these both very highly. White Lightning, I like better than Gator because Gator feels a little bit more Hollywood. Shot in the Savannah area with a lot of the Gothic, that Southern Gothic cinematography with the hanging. Think about Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, right? All those hanging, the moss, you know what I'm talking about? Is it kudzu? What am I thinking of? But White Lightning is it's good. And it's got White Lightning also has let's see, I'm looking for the cast here. It's got a turn by Diane Ladd, Ned Beatty. See a lot of Burt Reynolds frequent Burt Reynolds co-stars here. R.G. Armstrong, that's the name I was trying to think of. It's just good stuff, man. And there's a 2-part documentary. Back to the Bayou Part 1 with Burt Reynolds and Back to the Bayou Part 2 is on Gator. They're the same. It's the same character, Gator McCluskey, and but they feel like two completely different things. Gator is White Lightning is 1973. Gator is 1976. They feel very, very different. We've got new audio commentaries for both of the films by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. Did this have... Yes. You know what it is? Here's what this just came to me. White Lightning feels like a drive-in movie, and Gator feels like a studio movie. No reversible art wrap here. Here's another banger, The Carpetbaggers. George Peppard, who is Alan Ladd's. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Carol Baker, George Peppard, Alan Ladd. It was Alan Ladd's final screen role, if memory serves, or it's very, very near the end of it. The end of his career. Carol Baker is gorgeous in this movie and gives a great performance. I don't want to limit her to just her physical appearance. She gives a great performance in this movie too. There is a fist fight in this movie between Peppard and Alan Ladd that is one of the greatest fist fights I've ever seen committed to film. It takes place in a room and they're just like going at it, knocking stuff over. It feels real. Like whenever you see a real fight, that's what it feels like. It's so good. Peppard gives a great performance here. This is a new HD master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. I only wish it was 4K. We've got a new audio commentary by Julie Kurgo and another one by David Del Val. I want to say this one has a third piece of art. It's the same art there. I really, really like The Carpetbaggers. It was a movie that was kind of hard to find for a long time. Now it's back in print pretty much all over the world. It's Paramount, right? Yeah, it's Paramount, and they've licensed it pretty much to anybody worldwide. You have multiple regions. So however you see Carpetbaggers, do see Carpetbaggers. John Boorman's The Emerald Forest. John Boorman, Deliverance, Excalibur. By the way, where's our Excalibur Blu-ray, Warner Brothers? Oh, we got a Blu-ray. Where's our Excalibur 4K? This is John Boorman doing a eco story. It's a very environmentally conscious commentary. So Powers Booth, he loses his son in the rainforest, and then like 10 years go by, and his son like becomes one with the rainforest, and like becomes one with nature, right? It becomes like a predator, like, you know, just becomes one with the land. And then it's like, I got to get you out of here. And it's, you know, there's action and there's all sorts of chases and conflict. But I think at the center of it, it's a statement about, or I don't know, like the same statement of Avatar and the same statement of Fern Gully and that kind of a thing. But maybe I'm reading too much into it. You can tell me what you think. I don't want to tell you what to think. New audio commentary by filmmaker Edgar Pablos and film historian Nathaniel Thompson, and the theatrical trailer. There's the alternate artwork. Well, we got to talk about The Last Tycoon. And this is incredible, right? We're 21 minutes into this video. We're just now about halfway through this stack. This is an incredible month. What's happening with Kino Lorber? This is why they are one of my favorites, because they're putting out stuff that we need to be watching, we need to be talking about. The Last Tycoon, based on an F. Scott Fitzgerald, unfinished. I think it was I'm trying to remember if it was a play or a novel, but it was a novel. Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby, which, by the way, just got the Alan Ladd's in a version of The Great Gatsby that just got a release somewhere else from another studio, and that's great. Like, we are living through movie history right now, you guys. This is I want to say it's overlooked because it's not necessarily a home run. Look, the critics kind of dismissed this, and I understand why. But now we're at a place where we're doing this revisionist look at what's come. I think the reason to watch this, though I do see the shortcomings, the reason to watch this is the cast. Okay, buckle up, guys. Robert De Niro, not Robert Downey Jr. Robert De Niro is the star, and we've got, it's directed by Elia Kazan, On the Waterfront director, and Dana Andrews, Ingrid Bolting, Tony Curtis, Angelica Houston, Ray Milland, Robert Mitchum, Jean Moreau, Donald Pleasance, I shot him 6 times, Teresa Russell, and Jack Nicholson contribute to stirring supporting performances to this richly detailed 30s era gem. It's in color and in black and white. It's a story of Hollywood in the 30s. Fitzgerald had so many problems with what he saw happening in Hollywood. I guess The Great Gatsby is about the 20s. This is about the 30s. Worth a look, guys. Worth a look. Don't come in expecting the next Godfather, and I think you'll be... Oh, we got a third piece. This is the one with 3 pieces of art. So, here, and here. Do I recommend it? A little bit. 4K scan of 35mm original camera negative. We got an audio commentary by Joseph McBride, editor of Filmmakers on Filmmaking. We got a is it Milos? I think we pronounce his name it's like I want to say Milos. I think it's Milos Forman. Milos Forman? This is his take on Dangerous Liaisons, right? That subject matter, Valmont. With a mostly American cast. So Colin Firth is in this film. Legendary filmmaker Milos Forman, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Amadeus, Man on the Moon, takes on the classic novel Dangerous Liaisons in this delectable thriller starring Colin Firth, Annette Bening, and Meg Tilly. In this 18th century France, a cold and calculating playboy, Valmont, yes, Colin Firth. It also has Fairuza Balk, Cyan Phillips, Jeffrey Jones, and Henry Thomas from E.T. This is a 1989 movie. We got an audio commentary by Daniel Kramer. We've got The Art of Seduction, director Milos Forman on Valmont, and the theatrical trailer. This was supposed to come out, or it did come out in October, but I did not have it on hand. It's The Terror from Beyond Space. You know I love my 1950s monster movies. This is a 2K scan of the 35mm fine grain. And we've got 3 audio commentaries. One with Tom Weaver, Bob Burns, Larry Blamar, and David Schechter. We got audio commentary by Craig Beam and an audio commentary by film historian screenwriter Gary Girani. Tidbits, Ephemera from Beyond Space. That's a featurette by film historian Craig Beam. And it is the... Let's see. Yeah, reversible. So 3 pieces. Yeah, that's right. 3 pieces of art. 1, 2, and 3. For a second, I was like, that's all the same, right? But it's not. This year, 2023, has been a goldmine for classic science fiction movies. I'm not even talking about like horror movies. I'm about science fiction movies. We got They Came from Outer Space. We're getting this. We got The Giant Gila Monster from Film Masters. I mean, it's just been at least a half a dozen classic 50s Cold War era monster movies. I love it. And they've never looked better. Babes in Toyland. Whoa. the Keanu Drew Barrymore version of Babes in Toyland. Now, I have not seen this since the VHS days. I think I remember working the video counter at the grocery store that I worked at. I loved going to work because I got to work the video counter. I think that's the last time I saw this. This is a 1986 movie. It was a TV movie. And as such, it's presented here in 2 aspect ratios, the bars on the side and then the 1:7:8 widescreen aspect ratio. It's not great, but it's interesting. And I think it's another one of those movies that's probably worth a look for the cast. So we got Keanu Reeves, we got Drew Barrymore, Richard Mulligan, Eileen Brennan, Keanu Reeves, Jill Sholin, Googie Gress, and Pat Morita is in this film. All right, that's the studio classics. Now let's talk about a little bit more independent stuff. Computer chess. This is a pseudo documentary about the birth of computer chess. It's kind of set in the 70s. Actually, it says the 80s. I thought it was the 70s. The early 1980s. It looks really vintage, but it is a creation. It is a story. A new story. This is the 10th anniversary edition. And it's got some really cool extras. Archival interviews, Austin Film Society Q&A from 2019, audio commentary by Deep Blue programmer Murray Campbell, additional commentary by an enthusiastic stoner, crowdfunding plea video, Sundance Film Festival promo, computer chess reference games, 1969 Sony AVC 3260 video camera tutorial, because it was shot using a lot of vintage stuff, trailer for an upcoming sequel written and directed by AI. I buried the lead on here. This is about humans versus AI, computer chess. That's what that was, right? Like, can a human beat a computer? And so that's an interesting trailer for an upcoming sequel written and directed by AI. We have Salvation. Now, look, I've not seen this movie, but it's up my alley because it's listen to this description. Laid off factory worker Jerome Stample, Viggo Mortensen, enlists the aid of his sister-in-law, Dominique Davalos, to abduct and blackmail a sex-obsessed TV minister, Stephen McCaddy. But when Reverend Randall meets Jerome's true believer wife, Rhonda, Exene Cervenka of the punk band X, he realizes she's an evangelical rock star in the making, a prophetic satire from Beth B., who was produced just before the foundations of American religion were shaken by the scandals of real-life televangelists Jim Bakker and Jimmy Swaggart. Released during the MTV explosion, Salvation is bathed in glossy 80s aesthetic and is backed by songs from New Order, Cabaret Voltaire, laced with razor-sharp social commentary. So I grew up in that religious environment. We watched PTL in my house, the Jim Bakker stuff, the Jimmy Swaggart stuff. The idea of satirizing that, like, I'm the audience for that. That's me, you guys. But I haven't seen this yet, so I'm excited about checking it out because it's going to make me uncomfortable. It's going to challenge me, even though it's ripe for satire. It should be satirized. But we got an interview with Beth B., a Q&A with Beth B. from the bicultural critic Carla McCormick, courtesy of Metrograph, the Dominatrix Sleeps Tonight music video by Beth B., and trailers for the Beth B. collection theatrical releases. Kino Lorber's put out multiple Beth B. projects. They have partnered with Beth B. There was like I'm going to call it a box set. I think it was 3 films in one set. It might have been 5. It was a set, and then there's been several standalone Beth B. releases. This is speaking my language. Let's go international. We're going to talk about 3 new arrivals from Eric Romer, French New Wave director. We have The Aviator's Wife. We have 4 Adventures of Reinette and Mirabelle. And we have Boyfriends and Girlfriends. So these are coming from Kino Lorber in association with Metrograph. I'm not super familiar with this director or these films. I realize that he's a important figure in the French New Wave. I'm not as versed in French New Wave as I would like to be, so thank goodness for these. They both have, all 3 have audio commentaries. Commentary by film historian Adrian Martin. Commentary by writer Kristen Yoon-Soo Kim. And commentary by Adrian Martin. So they're Blu-ray, they're restored. So this is a good time to catch these. These are 80s films, by the way. 81, 81, 86, and 87. when I showed these on social media, somebody was like, "Oh, those are great. Have you ever seen them?" And I was like, "I haven't." They're like, "Oh, you're in for a treat." This is really, listen to the description of this. So this is from Virgil Films. This is called Open. It's about a couple that decides to have an open marriage. And so the husband chooses a much safer friend for their open marriage, and the wife falls for an ex-TV star and longtime object of infatuation. So it says, as the couple navigates the increasingly complicated waters of open marriage, Christina invents a hallucinated 80s music video paradise where she fronts a band comprised of aforementioned players and all the drama that accompanies them. This has William Forsythe in it. He's not, I don't think he made the cover. Oh, there he is. He's on the cover. Let's see. Lindsay Ann Williams, Jeremy London, Miles Doliak, Elena Sanchez, and William Forsythe. That's going to be interesting. As soon as they solicited this, I was like, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Quote, laugh in reference. Scrapper. This is a story about a woman who, a girl, it's a BBC and BFI. BFI and BBC Film presents. It's about a little girl who's living alone after her mom dies. She's living by herself, but no one knows that she's by herself. She's like fooled people into thinking she's, chaperoned. So it's partly her story, and then her dad shows up, and it's like a coming of age story. I haven't watched it yet. This stuff comes in, so like Columbo took top priority, Monster Squad after that. But I'm really looking forward to checking out Scrapper because it sounds like a really cool story. These days, I just want to see movies about people and interesting situations. And somebody said on social media, I was bemoaning this on social media, I think it was on Twitter, which is one of the most miserable places on the internet, but I was bemoaning the lack of adult stories. And I don't mean like naughty stories. I mean stories about adult situations, complicated problems that don't require superpowers or going to space or whatever. Not escapist entertainment, situational based entertainment. And somebody was like, that's what TV's for. Nay, I say. There is still a need for a 90-minute to 120-minute movie telling a human story that has 3 acts. No, sit down. The adults are still here. We still want our stories, and I will not be quiet about that. I want my adult stories. We're going to get them. That's going to be the soundbite that people extract. He says he wants adult stories. I didn't know he was into that stuff. He seemed pretty interested in that movie about the open relationship, though. Spin. This is a French TV series. I think it's from 2011. About the French Prime Minister gets assassinated, and it's the scramble that takes place in the aftermath of that. It's basically, they compare it to The West Wing, a cracking French drama a la Borgen and The West Wing. So it's going to be lots of political intrigue. It's the entire series on DVD. It's a 6 DVD set. I think it's really cool that Kino Lorber continues to mine international cinema and international television. We got another international TV show here in just a second. We're going to talk about The Conformist really quick. This is from Raro Video. I used to say Raro. I hear it's Raro Video. It's Italian films. The Conformist is Bernardo Bertolucci, and we have first of all, we have alternate cover art here, but we also have a booklet. By the way, 2 cuts of the film, 2 different versions of the film on 2 different Blu-rays. We have a booklet with an introduction to the movie from Martin Scorsese. Now, I was going to read it. I'm not going to read it. It's too long to read here. I'll hold that up if you want to read that. I don't even know if I should be showing all of that because I'm sure Kino Lorber is like, don't show it. Let them buy it if they want to see it. But I like a lot of Martin Scorsese's films. I've said this so many times because it feels like he's getting more involved with home media releases these days, like preservation and curating collections. I love Martin Scorsese, the film fan, more than I like Martin Scorsese, the director. And that's not saying I don't love his movies because I like a lot of his movies. Hugo is a masterpiece, which is his love letter to cinema. But when you can tap into Scorsese, the film fan, I don't know that there's much better than that because he knows so much. He talks about seeing this movie in 1970 when it was new and what it meant to the audiences at the time. So disc 1 includes the new 4K restoration from the original camera negative by Cinecittà di Bologna in collaboration with Minerva Pictures under the supervision of the foundation of Bernardo Bertolucci. We got a new audio commentary We got an interview with people. Disc 2 includes the 2011 HD restoration of The Conformist, created in collaboration with the Cineteca, is it Cineteca or Cineteca? Di Bologna, Vittorio Store. So basically, I don't know. I haven't done enough research to know what the significance of those two different transfers are, but we have both. That's the takeaways. We have both. Oh, here's a pull quote from Scorsese right here on the cover. Bertolucci was one of the real masters of our art form, and The Conformist was and is one of his greatest achievements. Wow. How do we top that? With Buster Keaton. See, you didn't think we could do it, but we did. Buster Keaton, we got 2 new Buster Keaton films, including his first full-length movie after coming out of shorts. 3 Ages was Buster Keaton's first foray into feature film production after a successful string of shorts. It's his spoof on D.W. Griffith's Intolerance. And then Our Hospitality features it's a period piece that takes place in the 1800s. He returns to the antebellum South to claim his inheritance, but finds himself inheriting a long-standing multi-generational feud between a family and the woman that he loves, played by Buster Keaton's real-life spouse, Natalie Talmadge. There are no special features here, but it's 2 full-length Buster Keaton movies, newly restored. This is interesting. They give us the restoration, like the notes for the restoration. So it says that for 3 Ages, they used 5 sources, compiling the best from each source. And for Our Hospitality, 17 sources to get this best version possible here. So when I say we're seeing film preservation like we've never seen it before, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the last one we're talking about. This is Homicide Hills, a German television series. I think it started in 2008. Then it was like 2008, then another season in 2010. I think it went all the way up to, I want to say 2014. Just kind of spread out. This is the whole series. I should say it's 3 seasons. They appear, when I looked it up on IMDb, they appear to have made 2 more seasons like now. But this appears to be the original stuff, the 2008 to 2014 stuff. But it's got a really interesting concept. Now, I haven't watched this yet, but the idea is that a homicide detective who dreams of a thriving urban career is hilariously derailed when she's exiled to the countryside to run a tiny police station in the sleepy village of Hingsash. And I know that the Germans they're like, hee, if I pronounced it right. That sounds like Hot Fuzz, right? It sounds like a German Hot Fuzz. Interestingly, Hot Fuzz was 2007. This is 2008. I don't know if there's any relationship, if there's any influence there. But again, kudos to Kino Lorber for putting out something that I would not even know about. Hold on, there's the first season. There's the second season. Just to get my hand out of the way in case you want to freeze that and read it. And the third season. So that's going to do it for this monthly spotlight on Kino Lorber. My goodness, what an action-packed, jammed episode here. Whoop. What a jammed episode. Hold on. Got so much to talk about, so much to be thankful for. The only challenge now is finding time to watch all of this stuff because there's so much good stuff. Movie history delivered to us like never before. I'm so grateful for it. Watch more movies. That's the takeaway. I'm saying this every chance I can get. You like, hooray for buying them, right? Yeah, you got to buy them. I know Guillermo del Toro, Christopher Nolan are like, physical media is a safeguard for the future and for future generations. That is so true. If you watch it, share it with people, talk about it. I cannot wait to talk about these movies and Columbo with you. I'm a huge Columbo fan. So any other fans out there, let's talk about this stuff. I cannot wait to engage with you about this. I'll reference Kino Lorber's website where you can pick this up. You can also pick it up from Diabolic DVD, and there's an Amazon link in the description of every Serial at Midnight video. If you use that link, anything you buy through that link, anything, media, if you buy an air conditioner, if you buy peanut butter, anything you buy through that link, I get like 3 cents on every dollar, but it adds up and it really supports what I'm doing here. You can also support Serial at Midnight with thumbs ups, with subscriptions, so that you're in control of what you're seeing here on YouTube and not the algorithm. So not pushing things that you don't want to see. These videos are timely. These videos are topical. You want to know about them as soon as they go up. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also support me on Patreon. You can support me through YouTube memberships. Whatever you can do, I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.